Shed their antlers every year, but how many people do you know that actually get to witness that?
Right. I mean, I never knew how it actually happened, but I mean, I guess you kind of have an idea that it just falls off at some point, but there's a nice little shaking that goes on. So,
yeah.
Now what do you do with it? Just put it up somewhere in your room?
What do you do?
Oh, absolutely, right?
Yeah, it's going to be up somewhere in their house. Plenty of snow there with that moose. We got a good amount of snow, some fresh powder up across the mountains. And for those of you big skiers, snowboarders, it's nice to be able to ski and snowboard on this as opposed to some of the a little icier conditions that we had a bit before. Now you can see throughout the past 24 hours at Mount Baker, 12 inches, a foot there. Usually we get pretty high spots, but with our convergence zone, Stevens Pass and Snoqualmie Pass more in particular, picked up about 7 to 10 inches of snow. Nice to see at those two resorts. Crystal Mountain and White Pass, this wasn't really our system. We only picked up around 2 to 3 inches, but we do have some more snow coming into the weekend. Not going to be a big system, but it will put down at least a little more. Looking live right now, Snoqualmie Pass, you can see some of those skies began to break apart and we got a little sunshine up there across I-90. And also we saw some breaks in the clouds closer here to Paradise, but you can see fresh snow on the ground, some of that on the pavement as well for the parking lot. Where we are really seeing the clearing is into the higher elevations going across the Olympic Peninsula. Now these are the Olympic Mountains, and this is Hurricane Ridge. You can see that sun beginning to set. Plenty of that around for Sun Mountain Lodge over in Winthrop. We're seeing a lot of sunshine there too. That is starting to pop up here in Seattle, and we're at 40 degrees. Not going to warm up a whole lot, but with the clear skies, we are going to cool down quite a bit. So get ready to fall into the 30s quickly into the night, and maybe even be closer to the 30s and by that freezing point as we head into early tomorrow morning. Winds are going to be a little light, so make sure that you do dress warm as we head on into the night. 44 in Renton, 42 in Olympia, mid-40s closer to Forks, and mid-40s in Bellingham. Now the skies, they are going to clear out a little more as we go into the night as some of those showers start to come in from the west and start to head farther to the north. Now for early tomorrow morning, you can see a lot of the clouds still sticking around, but we're going to have some patchy fog to go along with that too. What that will lead to is a cooler start in some spots and keeping that cooler air in place a little while longer, while the areas who see sunshine will start to warm up fairly quickly, and we'll get back at least into the mid-40s, maybe even some upper 40s later on into the afternoon. 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, we're seeing some of those clouds and areas of fog still holding on to the Olympic Peninsula, and especially out there along the coast. So don't expect to see nearly as much sunshine as what we're going to see farther to the east. And then by tomorrow night, some clearing there too. But then here we go into Saturday morning. We start to see some of these clouds returning. The next rain chance will be on the way, but this is also going to be bringing in that next wave of snow for the mountains, and that will come on through and that will start to move on by. Now it looks like throughout the entire day on Saturday, not a washout or not really a lot of downpours, but it is going to be a pretty wet day as we head on into the afternoon, even to the evening hours before we head later on into Saturday night. Start to see that begin to taper on off, and by Sunday we should be dry as that starts to head on out of here. Tonight's lows dropping down between the low to mid 30s with temperatures near maybe even below freezing. Keep an eye out for some slick spots, some freezing fog possible, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a widespread issue for early Friday. We'll top off at 47 tomorrow afternoon. Lots of sunshine to end off the work week. A little more to come heading into Sunday, and quite a bit more as we head later on into next week as well, Monday through Wednesday.